A source close to Duduzile Zuma claims that a calculated strategy has been put in place to increase the effect of recent resignations from the economic freedom fighters EFF. Please kindly hit on the subscribe button as we go into the details. According to the source, Duduzile Zuma is coordinating a well-thought-out sequence of resignations from EFF members in an effort to increase the political and psychological pressure on Julius Malema and his organization. The source claims that Duduzile Zuma has counseled EFF members who want to leave the organization to space out their exits, rather than quitting abruptly. The insider clarified that the goal is to extend the turbulence and upheaval brought on by these resignations for a considerable amount of time. The goal of the strategy is to make Malema and the EFF leadership feel unstable and uneasy for an extended length of time. According to the source, Duduzile wants Julius Malema and the EFF to face difficult, painful, and protracted repercussions. This tactic demonstrates Zuma's will to put as much pressure as possible on Malema and his party by using the resignations as a weapon. Zuma hopes to keep the EFF in a state of turmoil by staggered the resignations, which will interfere with its operations and damage the organization's standing in the eyes of the public over time. The source highlighted Duduzile Zuma's strategic ability to use political maneuvers to further her goals and described her attitude as brutal. The choice to prolong the resignations effects highlights the significant risks and degree of hostility between Zuma and the EFF. The EFF is already going through a lot of turbulence as a result of the departure of important members like Floyd Shivambu, so this new approach would only make matters worse. In the face of constant pressure to stay together, the EFF leadership must negotiate the current unrest. The implications of Duduzile Zuma's approach should become clearer as the political story develops. The dynamic political landscape of South Africa is characterized by strong rivalries and planned movements, which are vividly shown by this unfolding situation. Once again, Floyd Shivambu, the deputy president of the Economic Freedom Fighters, EFF, in South Africa, left the party today to become a member of the uMkhonto we Sizwe, MK party. This is the biggest change in the EFF's leadership since the party's founding in 2014, and it illustrates how opposition groups are evolving in the wake of South Africa's recent election-driven creation of the Government of National Unity, GNU. In an urgent news conference that Forbes Africa attended in Johannesburg, EFF President Julius Malema announced the resignation, saying, "When he gave me a letter yesterday, I felt the anguish. Giving up on the EFF is like to giving up on oneself." Shivambu co-founded the EFF with Malema. Therefore, he has long been a devoted follower of the activist. Since at least one other EFF member of parliament, Mzwaneli Mani, also tendered his resignation in favor of joining MK. His departure to join the MK party may signal the beginning of a bigger exodus of his supporters. Late Friday night, rumors about Shivambu's possible resignation started to circulate on social media, and they soon rose to the top of the X, previously Twitter, trend in South Africa. The schism may have resulted from Shivambu questioning Malema's leadership at the EFF's upcoming convention, according to rumors. Particularly noteworthy is Shivambu's switch to the uMkhonto we Sizwe party, which was founded at the end of the previous year after former President Jacob Zuma split from the governing African National Congress, ANC. Numerous ANC members have sided with Zuma when MK was founded and in the run-up to the June polls, creating a wave of populist support. Surprisingly, the newly established MK party received 14.58% of the national vote. The post-election environment saw the formation of GNU by the ANC, Opposition Democratic Alliance, DA, and many other parties in reaction to the heavy losses incurred by the governing African National Congress, ANC, and the increase in support for relatively new opposition parties. During today's news conference, Shivambu said, "My decision to not renew my membership in the EFF is not a vote of no confidence." Notably, he did not wear the EFF's official red overalls and beret. "It's a revolutionary move that will enable progressive forces to come together and advance their goals," he said, ostensibly addressing the new situation the EFF and MK parties have found themselves in since the GNU's founding. Shivambu spoke some conciliation, but Malema was clearly upset when the resignation letter was read. Shivambu's action comes only 1 week after the party asked for the recall of 18 Malawian Kwacha's MPs from parliament. Many of these MPs had resigned from their prior positions or jobs to take on their new responsibilities, which have been a defining